hello, everybody. Welcome back to Goddess Gemini Gifts. Today's podcast episode is going to be Gemini, what's your blockages in communication? Okay, so as always, please remember that this reading is for entertainment purposes only. It may or may not resonate. Take what resonates and leave the rest for another person to claim. If you're listening on audio, please consider following the podcast. And if you're here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to my channel. All right. And with that being said, I do have a Ko-Fi link listed in the description box below for YouTube. If you are finding me on the audio platform and you're interested in my YouTube channel, you can check it out at Goddess Gemini Gifts, same as the podcast title. All right. And Ko-Fi is available. There's discounts on readings and all that kind of stuff. If that's something you're interested, if not, I just greatly appreciate your support. And with that being said, Gemini, you have the Mercury as your your planet, right? And I'm just curious to know if there's any blockages in your Mercury placement. I mean, Mercury sign, everybody has a Mercury sign that's different, but overall, Gemini, what's your blockages? We'll see if any specific signs do show up, but they may not, right? But I'm just curious on what everybody's blockages overall in communication are. And if that's something you're interested, great. All right. So let's cleanse the cards, the energy in the space, please. Cleanse the cards, the energy in the space, please. Cleanse my energy in my space. Spirit guide, guardian angels, ancestors, I ask for you to join us today in this reading for our Gemini friends to find out what their blockages in their communication are. Okay, so Gemini, what is your current energy right now with your communication? What is your current energy right now, Gemini, with the communication? What is their current energy? Okay. What is the current conflict in their communication? What is the conflict or blockages? Okay. What is the conflict? All right. What is the negatives impacting their communication? Okay. Let's see what that is. All right. What are the positives impacting the communication, or what's positive about your communication? Okay. And what is the neutrals for your communication, Gemini? All right. So, Gemini, what are your thoughts about your communication? All right. What are your thoughts about these blockages and that? All right. What is your feelings about the communication? Okay. And finally, what is what is the unknown? What do you not see about your communication? Okay. And finally, what is it that is the advice, solution, outcome? Okay. So, Gemini, we got lots going on here for you. So let's get into this reading, shall we? So, Gemini, first of all, you have your energy of your communication is judgment. All right. You have Knight of Wands and Justice. So some of you may feel judged. All right. And you're very passionate about the way you communicate, and you're trying to bring justice, right? Balance to the communication. Not everybody's going to understand that. All right. What is the conflict? The Nine of Swords. Then you have the Hierophant, and then you have the, Six of Wands in reverse. Okay, so what I'm seeing here for you is the Knight of Swords. Sometimes you may be a little bit cutthroat, okay, and that may affect people, but also some people don't always understand what you're saying. With the Hierophant, sometimes you can try the best you can, and it just misses, all right? And then with the Six of Wands, sometimes I believe that you feel like you're kind of in this energy of being conflicted, all right? Or everybody's angry at you, right? What are the negatives affecting the situation for you with your communication, Gemini? Excuse me. You have the Five of Pentacles in reverse, so a little bit instability. Six of Cups. Definitely trying to release emotions and express yourself properly. And then you have the Three of Swords. So negatively. Sometimes it just causes a little bit of heartbreak. All right. What do you have for your positives, Gemini? You have the strength card in reverse. Um, the Ten of Swords in reverse, and then you have the Two of Wands. All right. So I'm seeing for your positives here, many of you, it's not that you lack strength, it's that sometimes you know when to roll it back. Okay. With the Ten of Swords in reverse, I do see for many of you, um, it's kind of like, listen, here's what I'm going to say. This is how I'm going to communicate. I'm trying my best here. If you don't understand me, ask, right? And the Two of Wands is you're always trying new directions of how to communicate and trying to like let that be known, right? If that makes sense to you. However, a lot of people may not understand that, to be honest, right? Okay, what is your neutrals in the situation here, Gemini? Your neutrals in the situation, honestly, is that is the King of Pentacles in reverse, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. So your neutrals is kind of like it's a little bit unstable, right? Seven of Pentacles is you trying though. You don't give up, really, I'm seeing. And the Page of Pentacles is you're like, hey, here, I am peace offering, kind of. You try to bring stability, okay, to the connection. It does go from here and then it kind of dips and then goes back up. So I see many of you try to do as much stability when you're communicating, but there is a lot of blockages with that because sometimes when you're trying to be stable about a conversation and you're in a heated argument, sometimes it's hard because it is much quicker for you to speak your truth than it is other people. Okay. What do we have here? This is your thoughts. So the Queen of Swords in reverse. Obviously, I'm a cut a bitch up. That's what I'm getting. Excuse my language, but the Lovers in reverse. So when you're in that kind of heated blockage, you are not always being your best self, Gemini. That is your Lovers in reverse showing right there. Then you have the Knight of Swords, quick communication. So you're thinking with your quick communication, you were on your toes, you are quick to communicate. That sometimes might need to be slowed down, okay? Your feelings is the Chariot in reverse. So sometimes you may feel like you're not going anywhere with your communication, right? It's not just blockages, it's just people don't always understand you, okay? The King of Wands, I do see a lot of passionate energy though, feelings. Some of you may need to open like your throat chakra and take like that moment with that kind of stuff if you're into that. And then the King of what is that? King of Swords, yeah, in reverse. So not really dealing any kind of like manipulation. If you're feeling it, you see through it, you kind of call it out. Not everybody is out to manipulate you, but unfortunately, some people are. So it is good to keep your due diligence, but that also is calling you out on not to be the same way, okay? With the unknown is the Five of Wands. So I do see you trying to build up ways to prevent more blockages. Many Geminis can speak really well, but it doesn't mean that other people are going to understand them. Okay. With the Three of Wands in reverse, um, I definitely see this as a holding back type energy. And then the High Priestess in reverse is definitely a unknown. It might be like a lack of commitment to yourself. It could be a relationship. It could be unknowns to you. You're not the only one who's having blockages in communication. It may be another person. Okay. And so the outcome solution advice could be the King of Cups, the Hanged Man, and the Seven of Cups. So for the King of Cups, I do see having like this emotional maturity as time goes on. The Hangman is definitely looking within. And then finally, the Seven of Cups is just kind of letting go what doesn't work for you. Okay. So, all out, I want to see here what signs showed up. So, first of all, we have the Judgment card, okay? We have a few here. I know that. So the Judgment, I can't quite remember the Judgment. I always see it as Libra, but same with the Justice card, okay? I know it represents other signs too, but mainly I do see a lot of Libra sitting there in that energy. The High Priestess, it could be, a Taurus, okay? I do see here Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, okay, for your Mercury. I also see here Gemini, okay. I see the Hangman, so Virgo. I see, honestly, the Strength, so Leo, okay. I do see pretty much all signs could be relevant. Cancer. I heard Scorpio or Pisces could also be relevant in this situation. Okay. So if that's something that's for you, great. If not, throw it away. Thank you so much, Gemini. I appreciate you as always for joining me on my podcast at Goddess Gemini Gifts. And I hope you're having a lovely, wonderful, fantastic day, evening, afternoon, night, whatever resonates with you. And have a good one. Goodbye.